so much. I'm just enjoying this song, and then I'm gonna get into some things with you. But I appreciate you. I adore you. I miss you, and I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for tuning in. Go back, go back, go back. I know you think I'm crazy, but you just gotta enjoy everything that's around you. You gotta enjoy it. And this is art. This is Beyonce. All right. Hey Google, lower the volume. What's up, fam? Thank you so much for tuning in to my very first episode of Raw, Real, and Uncut with Dr. Saacha Spade. I'm so happy. Y'all have no idea. This has been a long time coming for me. It's been a very long time coming for me. You know, one of those things that you know you're supposed to do, and then when it's time to do it, you find a reason not to do it. I know I'm not the only one that goes through that. Um, and appropriately so, this very first episode is going to be about holding yourself back. How to stop holding yourself back and signs that you are holding yourself back. You know, coming to that realization that you are your worst enemy is one that requires truth. And it's only for those, though, that are on the path of self mastery, that have made a conscious decision to master themselves, to be able to look in the mirror and say, you know what, you're the issue, you're the problem, and you're the solution. The good thing is that you are also the solution. So just focusing on the problem, we can graduate from that. You know, we can graduate from that. But I really appreciate you being here today. I'm thankful to be here myself. I had to step back for a minute. I had a lot of things going on, and most importantly, I had to embrace the fact that I was about to face death, and that death was on a very, very deep egoic level where I had to go through my process and make sure that the lingering things that were in me, that's not to say that God is not finished with me. Let me say that. But the lingering things that were in me that were really deep seated, I had to make a conscious decision to get to the bottom of those things and go figure out why certain things were happening the way that they were happening. Why was I doing the things that I was doing? Why I had made the decisions that I had made, which further caused other things to manifest that just did not appear to be in my favor. But all in all, like with all things work together for your good when you love God and when you are called to purpose. And we're all called to purpose, but not all of us really understand who God is, where God is, or any of that to even be able to love God truly, unconditionally, without the hidden agendas of, you know, I served you, so I expect you to do these things for me, or why haven't you done these things for me? Like we have a sense of entitlement, but really just loving God just because of who God is. Everybody believes something different, so I don't want to turn you off with the references to God, but that I just believe that there's a higher power, and whether or not we any of us believe it, it's the truth. You know, it's the truth. So this is not something that's going to be religious. This is spiritual. I'm very spiritual, uh, meaning I'm more connected to the unseen than I am the seen. And I understand that everything is energy. And so I'm focused on the energy of being and knowing, which means that things have to be actualized. You have to put that into action. It can't just be the faith, it has to be the faith and the works. And so I had to step back because I had basically manifested complete chaos on so many levels. I manifested complete chaos. That's not to say that there aren't things that I'm still cleaning up. But the thing is, I'm allowing God in me to clean them up. I'm not pressured to get involved in that process on an egoic level because I've done that so many times. And in fact, that was part of the reason why I created the chaos, is because I was allowing my ego to override and dictate certain things that I was doing, in this transition of totally breaking away from the victim mode, the victim mentality. And so I manifested complete chaos. And that had to come to pass because I had to really get to a point where I understand who my enemy was. And I was looking at her every day. And so today we're going to talk about holding yourself back and how to stop doing that. We use everything. We use our family. We use our, the areas in our life when we're at a disadvantage. We use our parents. We use a zip code. We use the school we go to, our money, our bank account. We use our credits. We use everything as a determining factor to hold our own self back, when all of the power that we need to do the things that we need to do is within us. Greater is the power within you than the power that's in the world. And we get focused on the externals, what's going on the outside, not understanding that what's going on the outside is a direct reflection of what's going on within. So when we're confused and we're unsure of ourselves and we are talking negatively to ourselves and we are living in fear, those things are going to manifest on the outside. No matter what we're saying, what's going on the inside is going to manifest on the outside. And so we are in this holographic reality. Holographic reality, everything is dual and everything is a mirror. And you attract what you are, but you also attract what you judge. People say all the time, you attract what you are. That's a partial truth. The other part, the dual part to that component, we attract who we are. We're in a dual reality, so everything is in pairs. And so there's not just that one aspect of attracting who we are. We also attract who we judge. And because we attract who we judge and who we are, we're attracting who we judge to get us to a place of unconditional love and acceptance. May not like the behavior, may not like the manifestation of the energy, but the acceptance is where everything is key. It's not my job to change what I judge. It's my job to change the fact that I'm judging it. So, negatively judging it. Attracting who we are, we're going to get people that are reflecting back to us parts of ourselves that are either on the high vibrating side of our being or the low vibrating side. Aspects of who we are. So those lower vibratory signs, people say that's the devil. That's known as the devil. When really it's the negative egoic nature that is Shaitan or Satan, the opponent. Not your enemy, not our enemy per se, in terms of I'm out to get you, but our opponent, our enemy, in terms of I'm playing against your higher self, and we playing chess, not checkers. So every time you make a move, I'm gonna make a move too. And the higher your higher self goes, the higher your lower nature goes as well. A skilled opponent on this game board, this reality, a very highly skilled opponent. And so we manifest those lower nature and we attract people that are reflective of who we are in the darkness of our ego. Then we also attract people who we are in the brightness of our higher selves. One spectrum, two different ends of that spectrum. So we attract who we judge, what we judge, and we attract who we are. I always know where I'm at based on the energy that I'm given access to. So if there's high vibrating people and I gain access to those high vibrating people, I understand that my vibe is accelerating, it's heightening, it has the capability of reaching that level, and it can peak at that level that that person is on. I just have to maintain it in order to be able to get consistent access to them. I have to maintain that high vibe that they're on, which means I have to grow to it. So I look at the people that come and go in my life to determine where I'm vibrating. At one point in my life, I attracted riffraff. That's because I was riffraff. I had some riffraff tendencies going on, so I attracted riffraff. Then once I stopped being riffraff, I attracted more riffraff, but they were riffraff on a different level because that's what I judged. I stopped being riffraff, then I started judging riffraff. Like, I don't want no riffraff around me. But I once was that. My definition of riffraff is just not giving a damn and getting what you need by any means necessary. Then graduating from that, I was still attracting that on some level. Even though I wasn't selfish anymore, to my knowledge, I was still attracting the selfishness because I moved from a place of selfishness to tapping into the more empathetic, compassionate side of myself. And when I did that, I was judging the uncompassionate, selfish side that I had once been. So I was still attracting that. Then, because I was empathetic and compassionate, I had a soft spot to try to help them because they presented themselves in the fashion, yeah, this is where I'm at, but this is where I'm trying to go. I'm trying to get to where you are. I want to make that transition. So then I opened up the door to help them. And the riffraff level that they were still on manifested. We use everything to hold ourselves back. See, when I was dealing in the riffraff zone, I knew that I had great potential. But because I've always been gifted with the ability to see shortcuts, I was taking the shortcuts. And with the shortcuts, I get to A to Z quick without having to go through all the alphabet. I know how to get directly there. Doing that, everybody wasn't pleased with that. And as a result of that, people got hurt. I wasn't focused on hurting them. I was focused on preserving me. So when you're selfish, it's not that you're focused on hurting other people. It's just that you're focused on you. And as a result of being focused on you, you end up hurting other people. See, I could be honest about me. This is raw, real, and uncut. So I'm going to be me. Everything that I'm going to say is going to be for me. I'm not scripting. This is me. I'm at home and I do homeschool my grandchildren. If you see one of them come out here, because it's my responsibility to educate them, and I ain't with all that poison being shot up in them. That's a whole nother thing. Anyway, holding yourself back was getting into relationships with people in an effort to hold myself back. People that I knew at the core were not qualified to help me to get to where I needed to be. But then a part of myself telling myself, well, if you just tell them what to do, they're naturally going to evolve into it and you can bring them along with you. Because what you see is actual and factual. You deserve, you're destined for this. And what you see in the economy and everything is actual and factual and on point. So bring these individuals with you because they have expressed that they want to tap into their higher self as well. You don't see a bunch of eagles flying together. If you hear my dog Brownie, she's crazy, just for the record. So, you know, don't pay her no attention. She thinks she's human. Anyway, you don't see a bunch of eagles flying together. The law of gravity says that if you transcend to the level, the people that are still on that level have the more probability to bring you back down than you have the ability to bring them up because the law of gravity. Grounded. You have to go against what's natural to soar because you have the reality pushing this way and you trying to go this way through it. So those that are still grounded have more strength to hold on to the things that's going to keep you close to the ground versus you being able to accelerate and push up. Hold on one second. You see my grandbaby. You don't have no clothes on. I'm on video. Okay. So go do your routine, okay? Go get yourself washed up. And then I'll get you a Lunchable. Okay? Okay, go. Go. Hey, right. Go in the back. I'll call you guys in here when I'm finished, okay? Yeah. It is. That's right, everybody. Okay. Go in the back, baby. All right. So you got people doing this. Not intentionally. It's just you trying to pull them up. You ain't strong enough at your core to be able to pull them up. They have the ability to ascend too. That's where the truth lies. They have the ability to ascend too, but you can't. If you're trying to do this with them before you hit your altitude, you ain't going nowhere. Now, that's not to say that the people that I've been exposed to are on a lower vibration than me. That's not what I'm saying, or a lower level. What I'm saying is my awareness was heightened more in the unseen. So theirs was more heightened in the seen. So we were tapped into different dimensions. Because we were tapped into different dimensions, the resonance was clashing at some level, and everybody's motives weren't the same. Yeah, go ahead. All right, stay back there so I can finish. You just trying to keep making appearances. Anyway, you're trying to keep making appearances. I'll be finished in a minute, okay? Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. Go. You too, Brownie. So anyway, my life. The bottom line is this. We use all type of things to hold ourselves back. The people that we bring into our world, the relationships that we have, our jobs, our beliefs, the programs that are running, everything. But once you get to a point to where you realize that the power that you need is within you, all of the illusions start dissipating about what you don't have or the areas where you're disadvantaged. And for me, my big thing was not having a support system within my family. We all have our different issues. Mine was having to choose between my history and my destiny was very, very difficult, and having the guilt about doing so. Having the guilt about choosing this over what has been with me all this time. There was no other way though. And it's a price that you have to pay when you want to actualize Christ within. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Actualizing, crystallizing Christ within to transcend this illusion means that you have to have some sense of detachment to the illusion. You have to understand that this exists on the unseen level first, which means that anybody that is manifested into your reality is around you in the unseen and are different aspects of you that you have soul contracts with, and you've agreed to help each other through this reality on some level, but we don't remember that. So we get sidetracked and distracted by what we see outside of ourselves, when it's been proven that this reality is nothing more than signals going on in the brain. Our eye is inside projecting to us what our internal state is. So our external state that we see is a product of our internal state. Direct manifestation and reflection. So everything on the outside that appears to be holding us back is actually us on the inside, using those things to hold ourselves back until we get to a point where we're willing to release ourselves from that self-imposed prison. I had built a prison for myself, and I dwelled there for years. And even though I was scratching to get out, and even though I had the key to get out occasionally, I would go back in there. I wasn't staying out. And that comes with the ability to really just get that key and say, you know what, I'm releasing myself. That's where I'm at today. So I don't mind being transparent about me now, because if God be for me, who could be against me? Nothing else exists. Any appearance of anything against me what's true is real. Everything else is non-existent. So I had to break myself out of the prison, and that's why I'm on here today. And that's why I went ahead and did this video, because there is no right time to start. Holding myself back, waiting for the right time to start, waiting for the right amount of money to show up, waiting for the right people to connect with, waiting for the right doors to open. I am the door. I am the door. I am the door. So being in your amness is being one with God. You have to create the door. You're the one that has created the perceived door that you're trying to wait for someone else to open for you. I am the door. Open yourself. Walk through. Actualize Christ within, which is not an easy thing to do when you are attached to the illusion of what's outside of you. So I'll be doing these videos, podcasts and radio and television, and writing more and doing more courses and public speaking and all of those things now, because I'm released, to come out the shadow. I've been released. So now I can express the truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Make you free. Not give you an option. When you get the truth, you're made free. It's a byproduct. It's a side effect of truth. You're made free. So if you're not free, it's because you're not giving yourself the truth. You're not getting the truth. You're not receiving the truth. And you are not on a soul excavation. That's the word. A soul excavation to dig up those areas where you're holding yourself back. You know where you're holding yourself back. We know that. It's about getting still long enough to tell yourself, okay, you've been in this relationship for 8 years and you know it ain't going nowhere. Why are you using this individual to hold yourself back? Because while you're doing that, he's also holding himself back. So y'all are using each other to hold each other back. You've been in that church since you was born. You've hit a plateau. You know you've hit a plateau. You know it ain't working for you no more. But you're going to stay there because you feel guilty. You're going to stay there. You know that you have been called to do more on this planet, but you're going to stay there and serve in a limited capacity. Why? You're using that to hold yourself back. You know that ain't it. You've been through it. That job, you've been there. You still living check to check. You know you're supposed to own your business. You know you're supposed to open a business. You know you got things to do. You know you gifted. But you're using that job, that hourly wage or that salary to hold yourself back. Trying to save money. You'll never save the money you need because you're trading your time for money, and you ain't got the amount of time for the money that you need. You trading your time for money. You know there's more to you than that, but you feel safe and comfortable. So you're using that to hold yourself back because you get benefits. Yeah, no. uh-uh. Uh-uh. No. We use all type of things to hold ourselves back. Credit score ain't good. single motherhood, felon, all of that. We use everything to hold ourselves back instead of saying, greater is the power in me than the power out in the world. So let me adjust this power within to understand I'm one with God. Me and my source are one. Me and my higher power. Me and the source that has created everything, including this illusion that I am live streaming in right now. The land of the ego, the matrix, where it's not about right and wrong, it's about control. The power within me is greater than this. So let me get my adjustments inside so I can reconfigure what's going on the outside of me. Holding ourselves back constantly. Let's, let me just encourage you. I'm so thankful to be at a point where I just understand that if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I have to align myself with God and forget about all of the excuses and reasons because there will never be a perfect time to do what you're called to this planet to do. The perfect time is now. Now is all we have. We don't have tomorrow. We don't have next year. We don't have 6 months. We don't have next week. We don't have the next minute. All we have is now. This is not the perfect situation that I wanted to do these videos in, but oh well. You know, I have to do what I have to do, and I can't continue to hold myself back anymore. So I've been given that green light, and I'm out here ready. Continue to follow my higher selves, my source's lead. Continue to be true to my higher self, my source first, and let everything reconfigure itself. Stop holding yourself back. You know that you're here for a higher purpose. You know there's more than what you are seeing. You know there is. You're here for something more than what you've allowed yourself to be. And all of these reasons are just ways that you develop justifications to hold your own self back from your own greatness and your own light. We have a responsibility to shine. We are here on this planet. If you are watching this video, you are chosen for greatness. Everybody ain't gonna be attracted to this. If you're watching this, you've allowed your ego to talk you down and reduce you on some level. And there's more to you. You ain't even scratched the surface on your potential. So what you married? So what you got kids? So what you single? So what your baby daddy ain't acting right? So what he left? So what? And that has nothing to do with the powerful being that you are. Divinity is your identity. Divinity is your identity. Be who you are. Whoever don't like it, that has nothing to do with you. They're manifestations of aspects of you, of what you either who you are or what you judge. They're going to fall away as you step into, if they're there and they're a part of lower aspects of you, as you rise, they're going to dematerialize. They have no choice but to fall away because your energy is no longer resonant, it's no longer connected. The reason why they're there now is because on some level you're vibing on that level. As you accelerate and transcend that level, they have no choice but to fall away or to rise with you. If they're a part of your journey, then they will continue to be there. If they're a part of the longevity, or if they were just there to give you that specific lesson, a manifestation back to you, or mirror back to you what you needed to heal, what you needed to work on. As you heal, as you work on that, they're going to fall away. This matrix is a very convincing illusion. This reality, very convincing. The importance of tapping in to understand why you have fear of something that's going on inside of you that has manifested out here, that you're creating internally. Fear of your own reality, fear of your own creativity, fear of your own creation. I say all the time, master yourself or be mastered by default. Governments govern slaves, masters govern themselves. Choose you this day who you're going to serve. God within or mammon, man. Today is the day to decide to stop holding yourself back and to get up and do the things that you've been telling yourself you're going to do. You've been telling yourself you're going to do that so long you don't even believe yourself. Whatever it is, now is all you have. So I appreciate you tuning in with me today. I'm seeing it's about 38 minutes. I love you. And regardless how you feel about me, I don't have nothing to do with that. Only thing that I have to do with is my intentions towards you, how I feel about you. I know that we are all here under circumstances where we have limited information. All the information that we need is within, but the world has us so busy that many of us don't take the time to tap in so we can get that real download, that real insight about what all of this is. Where have I found myself? What am I in? Where am I going when I leave here? Who am I? Who is the person behind this skin? Who is this energy that's manifested as me? Do I know myself? Am I getting to know myself? Do I understand the way that I'm created? Do I understand the creator who created me? Do I understand how I was made? Do I understand any of this? What is this? How did I get here? Where am I going? And what is it? So, I love you. And my information is down below. If you want to further connect with me, if I'm led to work with you, I will. We just have to get to a point to where we awaken, continue to be committed to your own awakening, and understand where God is and who God is, and then get in alignment with that energy, with your source. Okay? All right. Take care, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Raw, Real, and Uncut with Dr. Saacha Spade. Love you. Bye.